It's food o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. I popped in Asda. I had a quick look down the noodle aisle whilst I was looking for some beers. And there was one of those, do you know when you're walking down the aisle and you see a little flag sort of thing sticking out the aisle and it's a bit of a promotion for a new product? Well, it was by Namdong. This is their chicken Jjigae K-noodles flavour. Kind of like work out your own spice level, or choose your spice level as they've called it. This is a chicken one, so no sachet at all is no heat, half a sachet is a bit of heat, full sachet is the tiger's got crosses on its eyes. They were £1.50 per noodle sachet, and interestingly enough it's made by, I think it's Unilever. Let's have a look. I think it's the company that makes your kind of super noodles and stuff. Yeah, Unilever UK. So you use the line there, you put the water up to the line. I'm going to put the whole sachet in. It's a powdered chili sachet. So it's a red, it's a kind of like a deep red powder here. So that's all in. Tip some on the counter, so let's get it into the pot. We don't want to waste any. Water up to the line. Now what I do with these sorts of things is that I put the noodles back below the water if they flood. They rise to the top. Then I'll use my fork to get right down in the creases of the pot, just to make sure there's no flavour that's gone down there and is not going to make its way onto the noodles. Try and break them up a little bit. Don't be too vigorous with it. I'll put the lid back over and I'll put the fork on top of the lid and I'll leave that for 4 minutes and I'll be back when it's cooked. I can already smell chicken. I'll be back when these are cooked. Right, okay, these noodles are ready. I think even Unilever, I'm sure they make a pot noodle, don't they? I'm sure they never used to be. It used to be Golden Wonder. But correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure Unilever own pot noodle these days. Right. So I reviewed the beef flavour about 2 weeks ago, and it's the same chili sachet which is colouring the liquid. We're going to call it liquid now, not water. It's coloured it a kind of a pinky red colour. Now, I suppose that's great for beef, isn't it? But maybe for a chicken noodle, maybe you want something a little bit paler. I don't know, just a little suggestion. So I've used the whole sachet. I quite liked the beef flavour, I thought they were quite good, but the chicken, I've actually got my mouth watering. £1.50 a noodle, they don't seem that bad at all. Oh, And first taste. Now what happens, this happens in life in every single, not every single circumstance, but when you take your eye off the ball, When I reviewed the beef flavour of these, I had no clue as to how hot they were going to be. So I built myself up. I thought, oh, these, you know, a high spice level, these might be crazy, these might be kind of like, ooh, like bonkers hot. So I prepared myself for them. Because I thought to myself that the beef ones kind of like weren't sort of on your samyang level of spicy noodles, your nuclear fire noodles, I thought, well, I'll just go into these without really preparing myself for it. But when you do that, it gives you more of a, like, you're not prepared, you're not ready for spice. And I suppose it lets you appreciate the spice a little bit more. It makes you, ooh, yeah, these are pretty good. Because it's not just spice, ooh, it's not just spice for the sake of it. You get a real kick of chicken first. You get a real sense and a taste of that chicken, a bit like a chicken super noodle, but then with loads of spice. I really like these. I really like these. I love my Oriental noodles. But I think for a company like Unilever, who makes super noodles, to come out with something like this, a brand new product line, is a good thing. Why not? Why not? I grew up eating super noodles. They've been around forever. Why can't the Brits make their own noodles? Why not? Call them something else. Call them chicken Jjigae and have Rami the tiger on the front. Why not? They're good. They're making my tongue burn a little bit. The spice, not the hot water. But let me make one thing clear. As you can probably see by my face and that I'm not struggling too much. These are not a samyang. These are not a nuclear fire noodle. Perhaps if they take off, perhaps if Unilever do quite well with these, you never know. They might bring out a hotter version of these noodles. But for now, this is what you're getting. And I think for £1.50, they're not bad at all. So I'm going to rate them. Just as a reference for the spice, I reckon my daughter, who's 15 and still eats korma, even if she'll have a chicken tikka masala at a push. Just to give you a reference, she would probably use half a packet of this spice, and that would be to her absolute limit. So for you youngsters out there watching this video, half a packet will probably do for you if you don't like spice that much, or if you're learning to like spice. But for your samyang loving, hot noodle loving people like me, get the full sachet in. I like the chicken more than I like the beef. The chicken is giving off more of a pronounced flavour. Then you get that spice on the back end. They're a decent noodle, these, for £1.50. Picked them up in Asda. I like these enough to give them an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 from Real Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers.